General MacArthur drops a atomic bomb.
Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Axis and Allies 1951 with my solo play. It is turn 2 for the Allies. Going right into purchases, the United States is purchasing 2 diplomacy, 1 tech, 2 transports, a destroyer. They are reconstituting the 1st Marine Division after it was destroyed in Korea, 2 tanks, and an infantry. NATO is buying 2 tech dice, 1 infantry, 3 Centurion heavy tanks, 4 airborne units, reconstituting the 1st Airborne Division and the 6th Airborne Division, and 1 C-46 transport aircraft. SATO is buying 3 tanks, 2 tech, and a C-47 transport. Okay, let's go right into doing the rolls quick. China and Russia are going to split their 10% to try and block the United States, who is going to try and diplomatically influence Spain. So let's see. And they didn't get it. Okay, so that's the diplomacy. The U.S. tech is going to be for heavy tanks. And they got it. So the United States has unlocked their heavy tanks, which is the M48 Patton. NATO is going for radar, which will allow aircraft to scramble up to 2 spaces from an airbase or aircraft carrier. And they failed. And then SATO is also doing heavy tanks. And they failed as well. Alright, so there was 1 success of research, and again, that was the United States researching heavy tanks. So we will update that, and then we will get rolling on getting these attacks going. Alright, so going into attacks for the Allies this turn, it's all going to be relegated to the Pacific. The U.S. Air Force Far East Command is launching 2 strategic bombing attacks against the 2 Chinese miners along the coast. And then, under the flag of the U.S. First Fleet, a U.S. SATO Navy and Landing Task Force is going to hit the Chinese at Hong Kong. So, we will start, So we'll start with the strategic bombing. Both factories have an AA gun, so we'll see if they survive. So we'll start with the first strategic bomber makes it. He rolls a damage of only 2. Okay. And then the next strategic bomber and an aircraft gun misses. He rolls a damage of 1. Boy, the U.S. Air Force is kind of a laughingstock at the moment. Alright, then quickly going over to the battle board. We'll set up the landings for Hong Kong, which isn't really going to be much. All of the Allied infantry will get to hit on 2. Marines hit on a 2 when they are conducting a amphibious assault. The artillery does not give them any special bonuses. So, and then the Allies do have a cruiser and 2 battleships for offshore bombardment. So the SATO cruiser for 3 gets a hit, and the 2 American battleships, they get a hit. And the Allied forces will walk right up into Hong Kong completely unopposed. That'll return 3 IPC back to Sato and drop the Chinese 3. And as a sign of good faith, and because of the small territory, we have constituted this landing force under the command of the U.S. 8th Army, reconstituting it after its destruction in Korea. So we'll get that set up on their army board real quick. It's nice when you get to just walk onto the beach. Okay. Well, since those were the only attacks this turn, we can immediately just go right into the non-combats. So we'll start over here as usual in North America. Let's see here. So in another good faith attempt, this entire ground force here will be composited under the U.S. 3rd Army, and every single unit should be able to match with the transport. I think. Yep. These two are for so this group is for the 2 NATO transports. And then we got 3 American transports. So 1, 2, 3. This entire force is going to go 1, 2, 3 and land the 3rd Army into Portugal. These 2 tactical bombers, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll fly to Normandy. Can't quite get to France to join in the defense. The atomic bomber is going to come up to Britain and move into a safe space there. In Europe, the 3 Allied strategic bombers on France are going to fly back. We're going to fly back to the UK. Yep, they're going to fly back to the UK. The fleet at Norway is going to come back to Sea Zone 111, and then it's going to transport, and then it's going to use it as a bridge. We're going to transport the 2 artillery and tank to Holland, Belgium, where it'll form a reserve force there in Holland, Belgium. The American, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we can't fly over neutrals, so we have to go around. Well, okay. Instead, so the 11th Airborne Division and its artillery support are going to fly from Portugal, and they are also going to land in Great Britain. Follow that up with the British forces in Scotland all moving down into Britain as well. Just preparing everyone for the coming moves, with the Russians being so close to Paris. These two mobile artillery are going to join the Italian army in the north. The two fighters are going to remain. The U.S. 6th Fleet is going to move to Sea Zone 98. However, the American aircraft carrier and the NATO transport are going to go to Sea Zone 96. Yeah, they're going to go to Sea Zone 96. Actually, the fighter and tactical off of the Ark Royal is going to go and come join the massive air army that is built over France. This transport aircraft is going to fly back to Great Britain. This jet is going to stay in Holland. Up north in Norway and Denmark, that's all going to stay the same. They're going to hold their positions there. Coming down to the Middle East, there's not much we can do in the Middle East. These forces, as well, I think we're going to abandon and head for the Pacific to link up with Allied forces out there. Not gonna, as much as I don't want to abandon Israel, I don't think we have a choice, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna set up in this sea zone right here, and sea zone 80. At least get them out of the way. Well, actually, I might just send the destroyer. The transport, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3 back to South Africa. We'll probably just have them round the horn and head back north. Coming over to Asia proper, starting Southeast Asia. So I think the Sado forces are going to stay where they are in Czech. If anything, we will double up the defenses at Malaya with 1, 2, 3, another fighter. I think we'll leave the jet in the Philippines for now. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this fighter is going to leave Hokkaido, and using the no combat land and new conquer territory rule, they're going to reinforce the Hong Kong perimeter. Let's see here. Nothing else there. So what we'll do here, over here in the Western Pacific, the Eastern Pacific. This American task force is going to go 1, 2, 3, and we'll parry into we'll hang out in the Marianas and land the 3rd Marine Division and its anti-aircraft gun support. Oops, move the carrier and its assets. This transport comes with. Whatever. Okay, then up north, that U.S. transport is going to go 1, 2, 3, and head back to Alaska. The Allied forces in Alaska are going to remain here, though this transport aircraft is going to go 1, 2, pick him up, 3, 4, drop it off because there's an air base, and then 5, 6, and come back to the Western United States. Oh, this Sato fighter, 1, 2, 3, 4, can land him in Eastern Malaya. We'll leave this nice American air group here on Okinawa at the air base in order to secure a position out here. I think it's all the non-combats. I can't move them off of Australia because I don't have the transport yet. I don't have the transports to do it, though that C-47 can help move the infantry and artillery out. I think that's all the non-combats for this turn. And oh no, there's a couple things over here. Whoops. Okay, this fighter in Iceland. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll land him in Great Britain in England. The jet here is gonna go 1, 2, or wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, he's gonna land in Portugal. Okay, and then like I said, all this is under the 3rd Army, and it's gonna come to C-Zone 105 and land in Portugal. So that should be all the non-combats. So at the end of the turn, the United States will get 49, 48 technically because of there is a convoy marker here on this side of Japan. So they'll lose 1 IPC for that. So America will get 48 IPC. 48, so 45, 35, 45, 48, and they saved 1 from last turn, so the US will have 49 next turn. NATO gets 59, however, there is a convoy marker off of Israel, and with that amount, they more than likely lost the 2 IPC for Israel, so they will only get, well, I mean, they'll still get 57, which is obviously nothing to balk at. 57, and then rounding out. Oh, I didn't do my deployments. Well, I'll do that after I get this. So Sato gets 30 plus its war bonds, another 1. Oof. So that's 31 total. They saved 4 for 35. So we can chip out. Okay, and then, sorry about that. So then deployments. So all these American forces are deploying to the western United States. We're going to be deploying over to and I got to get the ground forces. Which will deploy on dag nabbit. Dropped a piece. Excuse me for a second. Where did it just go? Okay, gonna have to grab another infantry piece. Shoot. Oh, okay. I'll fix that later. Okay, then for NATO, the 3 heavy tanks will deploy in France. The air transport and the 4 airborne will deploy onto Great Britain. Britain itself getting a little small air armada. And then this British infantry, this NATO infantry will deploy in southern Italy. Excuse me. And then finally for Sato, these 3 tanks will deploy in Malaya to help bulk up the defenses. And then this C-47 will deploy here in New South Wales. Great. So again, that is the end of the turn. This is the end of turn 2 for the Allies. And we'll be back soon with turn 3 for the Communists. Kind of going over it. I mean, turn 2 kind of not really going NATO's way, especially with the Army of the Rhine being nuked this turn and basically being frozen for this full turn and not being able to do anything. So hopefully the Allied forces can pull something out of their pull out something. Can't think of my words. It's kind of late. My apologies. But we'll be back with turn 3 of the Communists soon. So until then, guys, take care.